What's up and welcome back to the Kinda Funny Gamescast. Of course, I am your host, Tim Geddes, joined by the new face of video games, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
What's up, Tim?
Big Daddy himself, Greg Miller.
Ahem.
God damn. The season 13.
No. Please read it.
Wait, we made a trophy for this?
Champion.
When
The
did we make-
Fantasy Critic 2023 champion, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Now, Andy, as I'm sure you're aware, when a team wins a championship, they get the trophy and they get a band. No, I'm kidding.
The Big Daddy himself, Greg Miller, of course. The Lock, Roger Picorni.
Keep it locked.
Keep it locked. The Master Hype, Snowbike Mike.
I'm on lockdown.
And
What?
the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
Hello, everybody.
A big cast today for a special episode of the Kinda Funny Gamescast. We're doing our fantasy draft for video games in 2024. Should be a fun time for everyone involved. Of course, each and every week we get together here on the Kinda Funny Gamescast to talk about video games and all the things that we love about them. If you love what we do, please support us with a Kinda Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free. You can watch us record them live and get a daily exclusive show, or you can get Gamescast for free with ads and without the exclusive content on YouTube and podcast services around the globe. Thank you to our absolutely amazing Patreon producer, Delaney Twining. Today we are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, but I'll tell you all about that later. The topic of the show today, it's our 2024 Fantasy Games Draft. Now, Bless, Greg,
Yeah.
Mike, Andy, we've all been a part of some of these in some way.
Never.
Andy never has been.
Really? On the Gamescast?
Never.
We didn't do it as Gamescast, right? It was a PSLW.
I've
Well,
done this at one
PSLW,
point.
then it was Gamescast, and now it's Imran.
Oh, okay,
Remember when there was
okay.
talent on this show?
We've done a lot of different types of these things over the years. The last couple of years have been a PSLW Xcast focused thing, but we decided this year we have a lot of people here at this table.
We have Barrett Courtney in the ones and twos.
And Barrett Courtney as well. Yeah. So there's 7 of us playing. Bless, do you want to explain what's going on?
I want to have Greg explain it, because
Okay.
Greg is a good
And
explainer.
I'd love to have Mike. Nah, hey. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Fantasy Critic 2024. I will be playing for this trophy. All right, that is the 2024 trophy. All
Oh,
right?
wow. Already.
Remember, I have the 2023 trophy.
Got it.
I had to order them at the same time because I forgot to order a 2023 one. Anyways, I digress. If you aren't aware, ladies and gentlemen, there is a little thing called fantasycritic.games. You could go to it right now and sign up and make a fantasy league for you and your own friends. You could go watch our league if you wanted to at kindafunny.com/KFLeague 2024. The idea here is this is basically fantasy sports, fantasy football. Today we are going to draft a team of 5 games or 6 games.
5 games to start.
5 games to start. So we will go through all the games that are coming out in 2024 are in the fantasycritic.games database. We will draft all of these games, put them onto our own individual rosters. Once it's drafted, it cannot be drafted by another player. And then throughout the years, these games come out and they get scored. We will then get points based on their performance. The idea is that for every point on Open Critic that a game is above 70, you get a point for your team, for your scoreboard. For every point below, you get a negative point for your team, for your scoreboard. At the end of the season, of course, we'll go through and see who has won, but that's the idea. Throughout this, it will be updating live, it will be doing its thing, the reviews post, it's up there, yada, yada, yada. There are a bunch of different things, but
Yeah.
that is the base idea, correct?
Yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it, the overall. So I think some things I would add there is that today we're doing the 5 first picks of our draft. There are 11 games total that we're going to have drafted, right? We have 11 slots. Today we're doing the first 5 slots. There are 6 slots that remain after that. After today, once this episode of Gamescast is done, we've drafted our first 5 picks. You then have a budget. Each of us have a budget of $100 that we can then go in, and whenever a game is announced that we might have interest in, if right after we finish this, there's a game that's on the table still that you want to get, you then have that money to spend to then bid for that game and add it to your overall roster of 11 games. The way that the bidding works is that it is secret bidding. And so say tomorrow Half-Life gets announced and Tim and Roger are both like, oh, we want to get Half-Life. I got to add that to my roster. The bids process on Saturday. And so both of you have a chance to then bid. If Tim says, oh man, okay, I'm going to bid $5 on this thing. If Roger also decides, oh, I want to bid for this thing, but I'm going to bid $10 because I want to make sure that I want to bid higher than what I think somebody might pay for this thing. If Roger has the highest bid by Saturday, that means that Roger gets that game. And then Tim gets back his money. Tim doesn't spend the $5, but then
Okay, cool.
Roger does spend the $10 on
And it's
Half-Life.
blind.
And it's blind. So nobody knows what each other's bidding for until the Saturday bid has processed. And by that time, you have the game.
Would I be able to see that someone bidded, though?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so it's the idea of, oh, man, Half-Life just got announced. I think somebody might go for it, but I know I want it. If I think it's worth $30 to get it, even though I just have $100, I'm going to pay the $30.
Yeah.
Right? It's that sort of thing of you want to keep up with what games are coming out.
It's fun.
Another thing I'll add are the counterpicks. Counterpicks are a big part of this.
Big part.
And we're adding in like a little tweak to it this year. And so the way that counterpicks work is, like Greg mentioned, each of us start this off by picking 5 games each. There is a final last round of us picking games. Those are going to be our counterpicks. What those are, so like Greg mentioned, every point above 70, you get a point for that game. If you counterpick a game, it works the opposite way, where if Roger picks, let's say, Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, because he thinks it's going to get an 80 or something like that. If I counterpick it and Suicide Squad comes out and it does get an 80, Roger gets those 10 points like normal, but then I get negative 10 points. I get the opposite amount of points.
The idea, right, is at the end of this, when we pick this counterpick, you're picking from the available games your other people have picked. And the idea is you're saying, I don't think that game's going to do well.
Yeah.
You're gambling.
So you think the game's either not going to do well, or you think the game might not come out. You know, if a game doesn't come out, then that lands it at a solid 70, which is 0 points. And so if you think somebody's like bidding for Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever, and you're like, ooh, that's not going to come out, you counterpick it, and then you get 0 points on the counterpick, which is
So
good.
at that point, you're just doing that to make sure you're not losing points.
Exactly.
It's a safe, easy thing to do.
There's a lot of strategy.
Okay,
to this
okay.
game. Yeah.
I'm
Because theoretically, maybe not, but we'll see. Last year, when it was just banger after banger after banger, right, and we all had banger lists, when you counterpicked, you're like, wow, fuck, which of these games is going to perform the least great?
So Janet ended up counterpicking Liza P, and that worked not in her favor because that game ended up doing really well on Metacritic.
And I think that's because Paris had drafted Suicide Squad, and she was thinking about counterpicking Suicide Squad, and then we made her doubt herself.
Yeah, we were like, oh no, go for Liza P, and then that did not work in her favor.
The other strategy here, if you don't mind me interrupting,
go for it,
remember,
go for
of course, is like you might know a game that you think is awesome but isn't a big deal. You then have to get in the headspace of, well, will anybody else draft that, right? Do I actually have to waste in quote a draft pick on something that I think I could get away from bidding $1 on tomorrow and getting it for?
So here's another wrinkle to the counterpicks that we haven't had in previous years, but I am adding for this year as your commissioner. When you counterpick a game, it locks. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Too great haircut.
It locks that game in for that person. And so if Roger picks Suicide Squad, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna counterpick that, Roger can't drop that game.
Oh.
Yeah. And so Roger is stuck with Suicide Squad. The overall, like,
Howard?
I don't like that we were putting Suicide Squad on me. Okay?
I saw
don't
your
like
list
it.
earlier. I had to go
Every
for
day
Suicide
tells
Squad.
me about Captain Boomerang.
Every day.
This is what the drop rules look like over the year, right? And so there are 3 games that you can drop that will not release in 2024. What that means is if a game you picked got delayed to like 2025 or beyond, you can drop that game in part of your like 3 will not release drops, right? Either it gets delayed or it gets a date and the date isn't in 24. You can drop that game, or you can drop 3 of those kind of games.
Okay.
You then get also 1 will release game, right? It's the idea of like, oh man, I picked I picked a game that I thought I liked, but then I see a preview and the preview's not glowing, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I should drop this thing. You get 1 of those that is coming out. So 3 games that are not coming out this year, and then 1 game that is coming out, you can drop.
Now, of course, we're in a privileged position. A lot of people who go and play this game, as you should, and they're not sponsors, but maybe one day they will. You'd just be watching coverage. You'd just be doing these things. The rule we've instituted last year, and we will continue with this year, is that if you are reviewing a game, like if I get a review code for a game I have drafted, I can't drop it. Right? That's what we talked about before.
Yeah. So once you get a review code, you're locked in. Where it is, you're not allowed to bid for that game, and then also, you're not allowed to drop that game. That's like the gentleman's rule between us. 2 more things I'll add. Going into the scoring system, right? So we talked about how every point above 70 is going to be a point for you. Once you get to 90, the points then start to double. And so it's the idea of if a game scores, if a game scores 89 on Open Critic, that's 19 points because it's 19 above 70. If a game scores, let's say 92, you get 20 points plus 4 points. Because once you get to 90, it is the 20 points above 70. And then for every point beyond that, we're adding in 2 points.
Damn.
So you really want to, like, at the start at least, go for the games that you think are going to get above a 90 on Metacritic, because those are going to seal you in.
Blessing, where do we fall on remasters, remakes, DLCs?
So that's the next thing I was going to get into. Roger or Mike, what's up?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's just like use Metal Gear Solid as a great example. You know.
So this is how it goes, right? The website that we're using is fantasycritic.games. They do a really good job of categorizing what game falls in what category. So we have a list of banned tags. Those are games that we cannot draft. Games that are currently in early access are banned, right? If you can play it right now in early access, you can't draft it. Games that are considered director's cuts are banned, that are coming out, right? And so the examples that they give here are Persona 5 Royal. They consider a Royal. They consider a director's cut. And then Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury, they consider a director's cut. And obviously, like the PlayStation games that come out with director's cut, I assume they also consider that.
Fucking nonsense.
Next one, ports. Right, that's pretty straightforward. If I have a port of a game is directly coming into another console, can't draft it. They have Doom 2016 for Switch or Death Stranding for PC as examples. Next one, games that are already released internationally. Those games are not eligible.
Right.
And then last one are remasters. Remasters are not eligible. The examples they give here are games like Gears of War Ultimate Edition or The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. Those are the only banned tags. That means remakes are eligible. To your question, Mike, yeah, if a Metal Gear Solid Delta is on your list that you want to draft, that is 100% eligible. DLCs and expansions also eligible.
Interesting.
Love it.
So it's
Fantastic.
based on the rules of how this site defines those things.
Yes.
And the thing is, when you're in the back end as us drafting today, if this is your first time, you will see it'll say available or it'll say not available or you can't, like it'll identify. It won't let you draft one of the games that's banned under the rules.
Okay.
So if you were like, I'm picking, and you clicked on it and it was like, oh, you can't do it, it would tell you. It's not like you're going to waste a draft pick on it.
I think that's pretty much it. I guess we talked about trades. Did we already talk about trades?
No, we haven't talked about trades.
I think that's the controversial one from last year.
There's no controversy there, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
all
just
right?
I don't know when this happened, but
Fair argument.
we were all
No,
kind of
fair.
informed about this, and I looked at Tim and I was like, why, when there's always something shady happening with some sort of competition, Greg is always the main reason for it.
Literally, don't hate the player, hate the game. That's why. All right? But what happened? Like, I won, of course.
Literally stop
I won,
being a
of course. Last year, Mike doesn't pay attention to the rules, gets all mad when he can't pick his games. I pick the games I want, I win. That's how it is. You know what I mean?
How it is.
That's how it is. That's the thing.
What
So what are the
are the
rules
rules
with
about trading?
So the trading is allowed.
Wow.
Last year, there was a scandal because there's one Gary Whitta who, maybe doesn't pay attention to this game whatsoever.
Or actively care.
or actively care. And so Greg saw that Gary Whitta had Starfield on his roster.
Greg said, give me a bunch of V-Bucks, and I'll give you a bunch of V-Bucks if you let me log in.
Greg went to Gary and was like, oh, Gary, I'll give you 50 in-game dollars, and then I'll also promote your book on one of our shows if you give
Oh,
me
you mean
Starfield.
hit book Gundog? That's available at kindafunny.com/Gundog right
Oh,
now.
that's
We have
for
a
real.
link for
I
it?
was joking about a bribe.
You did a great job with
Not a
that.
bribe at all. It all happened on stream. It was a very
It did
negotiated.
happen.
Okay, just because the bribe is
bribe at all.
documented,
Everybody
it's a
saw it.
documented bribe.
It was all perfectly legal.
Illegal.
You want to change it now? That's fine.
I murdered the guy on camera. I don't care. Like, that makes it okay.
So as commissioner, I am the one that approves trades. The rule that I am instituting for trades is that it has to be game for game. Or it has to be there's
Games
like
for money. It's got to be happening in the
It
machine.
has to happen in the machine. No favors allowed. You're not allowed to be like, oh man, yeah, I'll give you the fucking shirt off my back if you give me Spyro the Dragon remake or whatever's coming out.
Sure.
That's
There
the
was
rule I'm
no quid
instituting.
pro
This
quo.
is political persecution. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, how do I get to
We're
a Trump
not,
thing about
we're not
it?
allowed to trick gullible people, and if you're here, don't be gullible. All right, money
Mike.
doesn't get you points, Mike. Just so you- I
That
know.
was Gary Whitta.
I'm just making sure everybody knows how the game is.
Mike, if you just start getting free burgers, nobody can say anything. Who's to say where they're coming from?
So how do
I've
we
just been like
decide?
watching Roger smile. Looking
Dude,
at what,
it's
looking
so
at what
hard.
Mike's been Googling
It
here.
is, Mike has just been doing his homework
like,
live
video
on
games
camera,
2020.
and then he's also breathing so hard.
So loud.
Thank God you can hear me breathing. Thank God you can hear me breathing. Means I'm alive.
It is truly impossible
It's the
not to
loud
laugh.
breathing mixed with "Hello Games, new game."
Yeah, he wrote down. He just wrote down in front of me. He's like, "What's the name of the game with everything in it?"
You know what game I'm talking about, chat?
Oh
You know what
man,
game I'm
this is
talking
gonna be a
about?
fun year for Mike.
You know what game it is. It's not the game you're thinking, but it's the other game that you're thinking.
So
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
so we have seven participants. each with our own publisher, right? So going down the list, we have Raj Former with Halo Free Games.
Halo free.
Halo free.
We got Tim Geddes
The
with
British people say it.
hashtag Let Tim Publish. We got Sad Boy Barrett with the CEO Juniors. We got Blessing Adeoye Jr. with Samurai Hypothesis. It's a Ninja Theory
Love
thing.
that. Love that.
Thank you. We got Andy Cortez with Nitro Rifle Games. We got Greg Miller with. We have KindaFunny Fantasy Critic Champion 2023 asterisk Greg Miller with Ecto One Games, and then we have Snowbike Mike with Team Snowbike Mike.
It was a
Why
deal
they keep
so
it simple
dirty,
this
I
year?
drove Janet out of the company.
Easy branding, right?
So the way we get
branding.
started with this is literally like I have a button on my
Champion
screen.
goes first.
No,
Nope.
it's random. So
Ooh.
But you can do it manually, so maybe you.
You could
Is he,
do it.
is he randomizing
Why don't you
it?
put
Yes.
champion first, as you should, then do yourself because you're awesome, and then roll dice for it.
Why would it be championship? Why would it be champion first?
Yeah.
Usually, it's like the person who had the least
Yeah.
amount of points.
Oh, that was
Barrett?
me.
Why aren't
Right.
you appreciative of us including you? All right, keep pipe down. All right.
The Super Bowl winner picks last in the draft the next year.
all right, so I'm gonna click the button, the random button,
That's
to
the
organize.
fucking button.
It's gonna say Greg.
And this is what your official order is.
God, I'm so excited.
Starting off, we have Sad Boy Barrett. Following
damn
Barrett,
it.
we have Tim Geddes.
Yes.
Following Tim,
Look it up.
you have me. Following me, you have
All
Greg
the way at the
Miller.
bottom.
Following Greg, you have Snow White Mike. Following Mike, you have Roger. And following Roger, you have Andy Cortez. It is a snake draft.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
once we get to Andy then has 2 picks, and then it comes back around.
I'm feeling very confident. Yes, last night in the car on the drive home in about a 3-hour traffic jam, I felt like Barrett was like, "You ready for fantasy draft?" And I was like, You just reminded me that's happening tomorrow." And also, I went 7-7 in NFL, ESPN fantasy football.
Nice, all right.
Yeah, missed the playoffs by a bit, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
7-7.
confident.
Last time I did a fantasy critic league, I didn't win it, but I was in second place. Someone would say I'm a contender.
Great fucking story, you loser.
All right, draft is on. Starting off, we got Barrett Courtney.
I imagine I got to refresh. There
Yeah,
we
there it
go.
is.
There we go. So,
What do I have to do on my side?
Just be there. It should automatically start doing it. You
Well,
should
if
see-
you're logged
if
into
you
the
refresh,
website-
it goes draft is currently in progress.
No.
Next
I
to
can
draft,
also draft the
the
game for you if you
CEO
want to say the
Junior.
name of the game.
the first game that I'm going to draft is Metaphor Refantasio.
My God, this kid's so.
Don't listen to
Don't
them.
tease him like
Could
that.
have picked it
Don't
up for
tease
50
him.
cents later.
Or you know what?
I will say that.
Drama. Oh.
No, he knows it. He
I will
knows
say
the
that
right
was high
pick.
up on my list.
Yeah. Metaphor is being made by the OG Persona team, or at least the team that worked on Persona 3, 4, and 5. They left, or kind of like made their own studio shortly after the release of Persona 5. Still under Atlas, with a new team making a new IP for Atlas. They've been working on this for like 7 years or something like that. And this is the team that came out with Persona 3, 4, and 5, and Catherine in the middle of that, all in a row. This is a team not to be trifled with. So,
Oh.
It's a good choice.
Very good choice.
I'll
Next up,
see that.
Tim Geddes. What is your first draft?
So DLC counts.
DLC does count.
Like an Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd tree.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm doing
It wasn't going to make it to you. You're at the bottom. Start picking
Figure it out.
Eat the fucking
Big
dog
skinny little
food.
kitty. You're not getting anything good. Get ready.
The rules are you have to play it if
how
you
do I-
pick it, Tim.
Oh, I can add it for you.
Click on that button there.
If you
draft.
draft game. There you go.
And then you should have your list too if you've made a list below it. that you
Little
can click
kitty
on.
Oh, you can make your own?
Yeah.
What did Nick say?
When you go through the watch list and you start adding stuff, you'll make your own little list. And then, I guess
Really
nobody,
fucked that one
if
up.
something horrible happened and somebody you had ordered it, you could leave and then it would auto draft off that.
Oh, I see. All right, I'm up next.
This is more fun than I thought it was going to be.
First of all,
Thanks for agreeing to it.
Yeah.
there we go.
ESPN draft.
Busting,
Blessing Adeoye is on the board.
busting open a cider real quick.
Do it.
Little sip.
Sip of courage juice, you know?
100% West Coast apples.
I am
These
drafting
apples, you know?
Microsoft Flight Simulator
Fuck you.
2024.
God damn it.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah. Of course, I had like some of the bigger games of the year or more hype games of the year high up on my list. But then as I started doing my research, one of the things that I had to look up was the previous Microsoft Flight Simulators, Metacritic. And on Metacritic, Microsoft Flight Simulator has a 91.
Yeah.
Which is a very high score. And 2024 looks like a step up, and so I think that's a very safe pick of a game that's going to do incredibly well.
It's wild that those follow-up is coming out this year when it feels like that one came out literally like 6 months ago or something.
You're not worried that this is about jobs and activities as opposed to flying the world.
Think about that.
Have you thought about
worried
what?
about that, Blake?
Have you thought about
Get in
it?
your head.
flying the world
Don't let
still
him
in
get
this
in
game?
your head. Do not let him get in your head.
Just
Think
letting you
about
know,
Do I need to open last
Just
year's
let you-
results and
just
show
let
you,
you know,
Snowbike
Greg Miller-
Mike second to the basement?
just being aware of what you're
64
drafting.
points.
Listen, Blessing, I'm an impartial person right here, and I think he's making a great point.
I
He's
don't know if
making
you
a
know what
great point.
impartial means.
I think I'm impartial right here. I think I'm impartial.
I think climate change is affecting air travel from here on out, and there will be a lot of these flights grounded in the future.
It'd be hilarious
Yeah.
if like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 simulates the actual like air industry currently, where everything gets fucking delayed and the airports
fly
suck.
With the third pick.
Fight breaks out on the plane.
The fourth pick?
First pick.
Third?
Fourth pick.
Fourth pick.
What?
In the fantasy draft 2024. I'm picking Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Damn, that means I get yours.
I mean, we don't have to talk about how great the first one was. Of course, on Open Critic, the critics recommend it with a 95.
Dang.
So if I can get even close to that, I'll be sitting pretty. No, that's top critic. Well, yeah. How does it go? Is it top critic average or top the? I can never remember. Critics recommend
critic
or top
average.
Oh,
critic?
top critic average.
So it's an 88.
Gotcha.
If I can get close to that, I'll be doing good.
How the fuck do like you pick something?
You'll see it up at the top.
Oh,
You'll see
okay,
it.
cool.
Mikey?
Team Snowbike Mike on the clock. Thank you, Greg Miller, for leaving the door open for me.
Welcome.
I will select the DLC that everyone is anticipating. One Andy Cortez, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
That was already fucking
You're
drafted,
fucking
Mike.
stupid.
Didn't hear it.
What? You were telling me it's not going to drop to me.
Didn't hear it. I apologize. You know what? We'll go back to my
You
back
said
to
it
my
wasn't falling
board.
to you anyway, Andy.
He's been hanging out with Nick way too much, man.
Fucking shit talked Andy when Tim drafted it.
You're last place, Abby. It's not jabbing it.
Mike!
You know, you got to sometimes think on your feet, and unfortunately, you got to go back to the board now. You know what I mean?
He's back on GameSpot.com.
You thought the door was open, but it was shut
Shut your
closed.
feet and go back to
No,
the
don't
board.
do that.
Yeah, what do you mean?
No,
it's
don't-
my pick. You're gonna pick.
Sure, do it.
Blessing, will you please select for me Hollow Knight Silk Song?
Oh, good pick.
Good
pick.
I've redeemed
Good
myself.
No, you're still an idiot.
Hold on, I'm looking for it.
I love Alex in the chat. That's all he had.
That's all I had. Alex.
Again, he started
Incredible.
researching this when the show started.
Incredible stuff. All right. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm still trying to get Silk Song for Mike, but you can talk.
Gotcha.
What do you think?
Hey, everybody. Roger here for ALO free games. And we are going to be drafting for our first game.
Ayo, free games.
No, it's
I thought it
ALO.
was like more where on like the the
No, it's a meme. It's like
buying time.
it's like
for Blessing, just so you know.
oh, okay, gotcha.
No, I got it.
he got
It's
it. Okay,
added.
you're good.
Senua Saga Hellblade 2.
Oh,
That one's gonna be a banger. I'm thinking above 90.
Okay.
Above 90.
Really?
Above 90.
I'm so hopeful.
I just feel it. It just feels in the
Yeah?
air of like a critic darling that is going to just fucking destroy.
How do we feel about that? Are we on that vibe? Do we think
Yeah.
that Hellblade 2 is going to be above 90?
yes,
No.
100%.
I
1000%.
don't think it will be. No.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm going to guess 86.
Yeah, I'm thinking mid 80s. I think like the long wait for it has also kind of like put it up against like a really tough battle when it comes out. So, you know.
I'm going
I'm
for
stoked and I'm hopeful. But
I'm going for a surefire above 90.
Yeah.
It's Ninja Theory. The previous Hellblade was special. But I also
That's
think
so much time.
there's like the previous, when you talk about the previous Hellblade, you're talking about like really cool technological stuff that they're doing with like the binaural audio stuff going on. Really cool commentary on what's going on in Senua's head with the voices and like the depiction of psychosis and all that stuff. And then like a really cool integration of FMV. I think that plus you put them under Microsoft and they have that backing in budget and they've had the time to work on something. I think Hellblade 2 is going to come through and blow people away.
Absolutely.
let's go.
That's what I'm hoping for.
You're going to draft this game for Mike?
Did I think I did already.
Yeah, he did. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're
I
up to
drafted
date.
mine too.
We're up
I
to
think
date.
the website's been a bit.
Yeah,
finicky.
I crashed on me in the middle of that. Yeah.
I'm up to date now.
Mike looked at me again and he picked that?
Insane.
Didn't hear it.
You're the only one that talked about it. Like you're the only one that added commentary to that.
Andy, you got 2 picks back to back. What are you feeling?
This is a big moment.
I'm going to go with one that I feel like previewed really well and similar to like Flight Simulator. where it's like they're
Good
in that
point.
realm of games where like the people that review them are gonna love them, and I think Tekken 8 is gonna be very highly reviewed. I'll take Tekken 8 with my first pick.
Good pick. Good
Taking
pick.
Tekken 8.
Do you want me to add it for you, or are you going to add it yourself?
I don't know how to do it.
I got you.
All right.
So, but like that's me, right?
And it stinks back to me, right?
Andy has a second pick.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Got you.
Wait, I just added it for you.
So I'm picking again, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
This is so tough. 'cause
It really
there's a
is.
lot
So
of big
tough.
names out there that I feel like are kind of uncertain. A lot of good games. I'll tell you, a lot of good games. Damn.
A lot of good
This
ones.
is a fucking Hail Mary
Shoot
right
your
here.
shot, baby.
This
Throw
is
it.
a fucking Hail Mary.
Please say Silk.
And I hope they don't let me down. I'm going to say Star Wars Outlaws.
Whoa!
Wow.
That's a rough one.
Kid
It's a
believes.
Hail Mary.
Kid believes.
It's a Hail Mary, man.
Come on, Ubisoft. Come on,
I need it.
massive. Come on,
Yeah,
massive.
pop off. Come through.
All right, I've added it.
What the fuck?
That's your notification.
Oh,
That's the draft notification.
I'll mute it. I'll mute it.
No, don't. It's nice to know. It's nice to
No,
hear.
I'm
You know.
scared. I'm scared. All right, everybody. My turn. Hi, Roger here.
Hi,
This
Roger.
is a game that people really like with an expansion that's coming out this year that I think the fans are going to like. Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail.
God damn it,
That's what I'm
Roger.
going for.
You're in my head already.
I
You're in
already
my
got
fucking
you.
head.
You and I. I'm typing it in right now. Hold on.
We're
give me
the
a
only true competitors, along with Greg. You know,
Thank you very much, Barrett. Love you.
Would you believe that Star Wars Outlaws was near the bottom of my list?
it's not even on mine.
Like, I want to believe. Like,
It's one. It's. I mean, for multiple reasons, right? Like unknown quantity. We've seen one demo that looks great. Yeah, of course. But okay, that's one thing. Also, then, do we believe it's this year? Like, games get delayed all the time. You know what I
all
mean?
the time.
I'm also like, it's been a
I'm
while.
gonna go down there and be like, what do I need to do to finish this? You know?
It's been a while since Ubisoft is like
We need a sleigh.
given like a critical darling, except for Prince of Persia that just happened, right? But I feel like that's like a
Riding the ship.
It's also just been
Yeah.
a while since they've released more than like 1 or 2 games in a year. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like they gotta make that bet this year.
I don't know. That whole demo did not impress me. So,
for Outlaws.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was fun.
same.
Mike's gonna step up and be like, I'm drafting Star Wars.
Hello, everyone.
Jedi Survivor.
Thank you. I appreciate the time on the podium. I'm looking forward to a lot of games this year, and I have a couple that I'm looking at.
Okay.
He's filibustering.
What shall I select?
A lot of games.
Tim, look me in the eyes, because this pick,
No.
I need your help.
Oh,
I mean,
help. Okay,
is it
let's
left
go.
or is it right? 1 or 2, Tim? You get to pick my pick.
Let's go left.
Hades 2, please, bless.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with an unknown. I'm gonna go with a possible.
Okay, hold on.
The other one was
So-
a for sure. That's why.
This brings us to one of the rules, right? So Hades 2 is slated for early access this year. The rule that I have on the draft is that if it gets a score on OpenCritic, then it counts. And so you just need enough reviews to get
Yeah.
a score on OpenCritic.
And we
So-
did some research. It is kind of like a hit or miss situation, right? Like Valheim, a game that is in early access, has reviews and has an open critic thing. Arc does not. Like so it is kind of like whatever is in the air, right? Like
The
how long
original
is this?
Hades, when it was in early access, didn't get reviews until it was fully released.
But also that game was, not an unknown quantity, but wasn't.
Shall we
Hades.
make a selection now, since this happened last year with Baldur's Gate in a different form? Should we say it's on the table or off the table?
Hades 2?
All of us are here.
Oh, it's on the table.
Well, it's on the
thing,
table.
the thing with
it's
Baldur's
already
Gate,
literally
take
on your
Hades,
table already.
Then I shall take Hades too.
yeah.
Yeah, but-
To be clear, the
Because I
Baldur's
know
Gate 3
you
thing
want it.
was Baldur's Gate 3 was already out in early access. That's why you couldn't get it.
Well, I'm saying it's a similar situation.
No.
Similar situation.
I don't know if it is.
Similar situation.
Not in the same,
Similar
similar ballpark, I would say.
Similar situation.
Similar situation.
Same but different.
A lot of
Alex
things are
sees this.
happening that are
Thanks,
all seem
Alex.
very
Thank you, dude.
similar.
Because Baldur's Gate 3 was out for years. It was.
Greg Miller.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to Ecto One Games Publishing Paper Mario.
Fuck
1000
you!
Year Door.
Good for you.
No!
So fucking close.
Good for
Is
you.
that not just a remaster, though?
It's a
No, it's a
remake.
Remake.
Really? Huh. Look at that.
Good for you, Greg.
I
Thank
did
you.
remake 2D games. Like,
I know,
come
I
on. Come on.
All right. That brings it to me. And Paper Mario was my next pick
Gotcha.
since that was taken.
Don't do it, bless.
We're
Why'd I
going.
say that?
We're going with Earthblade.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Take it.
That's a cool game.
Good for you.
That's the upcoming game coming from the developer that made Celeste.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
Yeah, you're gonna
okay.
kill.
So I think that's a surefire bet. All right, Tim, we're back to you.
Ooh. Okay. Rolling the dice here a little bit in terms of will it release, but I believe that it will. Unannounced mainline 3D Mario.
Oh!
Wow.
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 I was
That
going
is-
to go for the 1-2 punch of Paper Mario and that. That would have been great. But yeah, so I'll stick with that. Mario 3D platformer is my
Wow.
first one.
Cool. I've added it.
Oh, wait.
Then we
I'll
go
get
to
a
we go to
second. We
Barrett.
Barrett. Yeah, okay.
Let's see. Draft game.
What's your level of confidence for Mario coming out this year?
90%.
Really?
Wow.
You think there's a Switch?
I
2
think the
this year?
Switch 2 launches with 3D Mario, and I think it'll be.
You don't think that
this
they
year.
would try to kind of like coincide it with a movie a little bit more? Like maybe go into next year and kind of have the gap year and then 2026 is the
Nah,
movie?
I think they got the vibes going. They're
Yeah.
good with the movie. They just need to keep putting things out.
Okay.
I do have another thing I'm not going to say yet.
See,
Oh!
my fear with Mario is that the Switch comes out, or whatever the next Nintendo console is, comes out in 2025 instead of 2024. Like it becomes a spring thing, the way that Switch 1 was.
I'm really feeling 2024 for Switch.
I hope so.
I think it's a bigger question of will there be a 3D Mario, but I think the Switch is this year.
I'm feeling it.
My next pick is going to be Persona 3 Reload.
God damn it.
Good for you.
God damn it.
Doubling down on Atlas. I think they're going to have two big bangers this year. Persona 3. I've talked about the Fez re-release from PS2 in my every Persona game ranked. I think it's a very special game, and I think the kind of premise of them just updating this game and getting more of the modern sensibilities from Persona 5. I think it's gonna pan out, and I think a lot of people are gonna fucking love it. My next pick. Hold on, let me take a time code because I'm taking time codes for each round. That we're
What a
doing.
nice gentleman you are.
So we're doing 31-43 here. My next pick after that for round 3 is going to be The Rise of the Golden
damn it.
Idol.
Oh, you motherfucker.
What do you do?
That was literally my next one on my list. I thought nobody
So
else
this
was going to
is
get it.
the-
What is this game?
This is the follow-up to, I believe, The Curse of the
Curse of the
Golden
Golden
Idol?
Idol,
Yeah, and so this was a very beloved game, I think,
The
2
Case.
years ago. The Case of the Golden Idol. It wasn't like a huge hit of just like everybody talking about it, but the people that did talk about it, it was like a Game of the Year contender. Giant Bomb, I know, like a lot of people over there really loved it, and so I think this is going to be even like a step above of what people already liked. So, yeah.
Damn. You just fucked up my whole flow.
Wow.
Good.
I thought that was going to be like a for sure nobody else is going to get that.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
We got gamers out here. All right.
I'll be gaming.
Here comes Tim.
I call
hard,
you Neil 'cause you
dude.
gaming.
Real
He thought it
hard.
was going to be easy. First off, he thought this wouldn't be fun. Secondly, he thought it'd be easy. And look
Yeah.
at him now.
Completely
Having a
doubted
great
them.
time. Shit in the bed.
I mean, so far I'm kind of crushing it. Okay.
Yeah, my shit is not refreshing. Keep on hitting that refresh.
You were right though, Greg. This is where the strategy comes into play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, do I go for the easy wins or do I go for the deeper cuts that I know y'all motherfuckers are thinking about?
Do your homework.
I'm gonna go
Who got shit?
Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Interesting.
You're confident that comes out this year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sick.
I'm not.
Really?
You said Metal Gear Solid. Oh, I guess there's one Metal Gear Solid coming out this year.
Have they said just like 2024 as like a slate in general?
So the thing is that they've not, but PlayStation has. PlayStation had like a
Right,
sizzle
yeah,
reel
I
of
remember
like
that.
2024 games, and all of the games were 2024 games. But then they also had Metal Gear and Silent Hill 2.
Okay.
And so people are thinking that like maybe
Just
they know
reminder, this is
something.
the same company that in 2020 said Goodbye Volcano High would be a launch title. So just a heads up on that.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, my turn.
What you gonna do?
With all that junk.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, okay.
This one is like there's a lot of question marks attached to it.
Lots of question marks.
A lot of question marks. This is a game coming from a developer that we've not like seen release a big thing before. But it also looks incredible. Like people are comparing it to how like God of War 2018 looks, but also like it looks like it has like the Souls like kind of combat of a Sekiro. And yeah, like there's a lot of hype behind it, and it has a date. I think that's the big thing for me is that it's not just slated for 2024.
Sure.
It has a date, I believe, in August, and so that makes me feel a bit more comfortable about the idea of it actually coming out. And so I'm going for it.
All right, my turn.
Hey, just Greggy.
I'm looking. I'm thinking. You know, you got to make the educated picks here. This is
Suicide Squad.
Dude, I think about it sometimes.
Yeah.
Nah, like I, you
Let's
know,
have a little fun.
I think that's
Yeah, have a little fun,
it's, like
Greg.
it's a great gamble of like what would happen. You know what I mean?
It'll
'Cause
come out
have
for
a
sure.
gamble.
you know, the
Yeah.
expectations
And you
are
like content.
so
You like
low.
good content.
I love
So
content.
I think that would be kind of a good match for you.
Got it.
I think we roll the dice and see who takes a gamble.
No, not
taking
we.
That moment.
Greg.
Yeah,
Greg
okay.
rolls the dice. I think that'd be fun.
Mainly, I think it's that there's still so many great games out there, but now you get into who's going to draft that before me? So what is the one that I need to draft that's at the top of the list that would actually make things matter for people?
Who's at the top?
Who is at the top? Who is at the top?
Wait, you can't read this. I should just let you
I
look.
love that Roger keeps saying, you can't read my list. We have the exact same list.
No, he has glasses, though.
You went
Yeah.
to Game Informer 2024. Like, don't worry about it. I'm on the same list as you are. Tony. You ain't got no special picks, Roger, that I don't know about.
I got some special picks. This one. Put that one.
I'm waiting for somebody to say something, to say a game.
Yeah.
Really?
And I'm like, who's going to do it? Because I'm kind of
You
scared.
say that, I'm gonna kill you.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about, Andy. I think I know.
I don't know if I know what Andy's talking about.
I think I know.
Does it start with an A? No.
What?
Never mind.
Excuse me.
It could.
You rearranged it.
Does it start with an R? There's a big R word. Our game.
Wow.
Our game.
Jesus.
Okay.
I am going to continue believing
Continue believing.
in Remedy games and go with Alan Wake 2 Night Springs.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting. Interesting.
Oh.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna... I'm cheating off his homework.
Yeah, it's
I
just
know.
spoiling shit.
Mike kept on leaning over
What,
to
you
look
gonna
at
take the
my
other Alan Wake?
sure, yeah,
I'm
no,
not taking it. Yeah.
No, that's not my turn. I'm not talking about. What are we talking about?
Wow.
Your turn.
I'm surprised that this fell so far. I know it's, maybe we're a little bit hesitant on it, but big RPG. We're riding the high off of Baldur's Gate. We're not going with Dragon's Dogma 2 over here. I'd like to select Dragon's Dogma.
That was the one.
Yeah, I am surprised
I knew that.
they
I knew
let
that. That's what you were
fall.
thinking of.
I heard a great preview from an upcoming games journalism nominated Forbes 30 under 30 that it was like, it's a pretty good PS3 game. So I don't think that's going to review.
Wow. Okay.
Fine about that life.
Okay. Well,
But
you know,
I did come out with
you
my
know.
preview being like, I think it's gonna be fun. I think a lot of people are gonna like it. I don't know if it's gonna be a Metacritic hit.
That sounds like a 77 to me.
We'll see.
But I feel like
We'll
it
see.
falls in that area of like Dragon's Dogma 1 fans are going to be the ones to review it and are going to fucking love it.
Question for you.
It's like a very niche sort of
I
fan.
don't think you get away with that one.
Really?
Yeah, I think more people will come to it.
You know what? In March, we'll find out.
We
In
will
and out
find out.
bet.
We will find out.
What's your score? Let's put a little
77.
in
I'll
it.
say 77.
You say 77. So anything above 77, I win.
Yeah.
All right, deal.
We buy each other in and out.
Hell yeah, I
franchise.
love eating with you, big dog. Having a nice lunch with Greg. Love that.
All right, my turn.
Yep.
I am going with hotly anticipated new IP from the developers of Shovel Knight,
Okay, cool.
Visions of Mana.
That was on my list. That was on my list.
Wait, Shovel Knight?
Wait, what? Yeah.
Right?
What?
You're thinking.
I didn't
about
know it was
the
Yacht
wrong.
Club.
Who am I thinking about?
I mean, don't
Yeah,
worry
it
about it.
is.
It's drafted. It's
You're
drafted.
not.
Who am I
Visions
thinking
of
about?
Mana.
Yeah,
is
Yacht Club.
squa-
It's Yacht Club.
What?
Visions of Mana.
He's very.
Oh, sorry.
The
I read the
square-
wrong one. Mina the Howler is what I meant to say. Completely copied and pasted the wrong one, but
Uh-oh.
I'll do either one. Fuck it.
Nina Mana.
Did you draft it? Did you?
No, I didn't press anything yet.
Damn.
No, I just gave it
Very
up.
confused.
Are you doing Mina the? Wait, what's the name?
I'll do Mina. I'll do
Mina.
Mina. Well, I fucked it up, but it's okay.
Mina Kimes the Hollower.
It hurts.
That's a good pick, Raj.
Thank you.
That is.
I mean, both are good picks, but
I played it
fucked
at
up.
one of the. Was it GDC? I believe.
There it is.
Good time.
Yeah, sounds right.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was the last pick for round 3.
All right, gamers. Here we go. I'm going with the sequel to a game that I feel like nobody played, but it reviewed real well. The sequel to the first game was a PC strategy game. This is called Frostpunk 2.
Good for you.
Maybe.
It's a great one.
Getting off the beaten path. I like that. I like
Frostpunk
that.
got an 84 Metacritic. I feel like this is just going to be lessons learned. And let me know when you're ready for the next one.
I'm ready.
The next pick Yeah, I just fucking had it. Oh. Very highly reviewed when it came out. Like 85. Pretty good. And this is the remake, Brother, Tale of Two Sons.
Oh, that was on my list as well.
Look at you.
Great call.
Really good one. Really good one. Yeah.
Now,
Gamers.
Of course, that's the beginning of Joseph Ferris and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So like you figure you have all this audience now that knows It Takes Two Game of the Year winner. Right behind that, No Way Out. A lot of people did enjoy to go back, have that remake, have a way bigger footprint for this.
And
What
also,
was
I
this?
believe the
86
Metacritic.
on Meta.
Yeah, the Metacritic is really good for that. And I think if it's a remake, it's only going to go up.
All the way up.
before we move on, remember, you can become a Kind of Funny member. If you do that, you get the show ad-free. You can watch live as we record the shows, and you get daily exclusive content. But for everyone else, you get to hear an ad like this one.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Snowbike Mike's Bills are a 9.5-point favorite against the Steelers, and Andy's Dallas Cowboys are a 7-point favorite against the Green Bay Packers. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code KindaFunny. New customers can just bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code KindaFunny. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code KindaFunny.
Continue.
You're up.
And you're up.
No, he said both.
No, yeah, it's Raj.
It's my turn.
Oh.
Okay, everybody.
Say both.
Continue.
Me saying you're up.
I'm saying it to Roger. Don't worry about
You're looking right at him. Look at right at him.
God.
Tim,
it. Cheating off his list.
you're close. The Switch 2 is coming out
He's gonna
in
do it. He's gonna
2024.
He's gonna do it.
But it's not launching with the Mario game.
Okay.
Traditionally, it's launching with Metroid Prime 4.
Wow.
Holy
Wow.
Metroid Prime 4 is going to be the visual delight of the
Tim's
Switch
so
2.
angry he's walking off, and I bet he brings me back another beer. Bring me back another beer.
That's in my fantasy draft board. He brings back Greg a beer.
I think that game, I don't know if it comes out on both, but I think it is going to be coming out on the Switch 2 this year, and it's going to look fucking incredible.
See, I almost feel like it's a safer bet than Mario.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that I think it will come out on both because Nintendo announced it for Switch,
Yeah.
and I don't think they'll leave Switch behind. But also, I don't think you put out a Metroid Prime for like years down the line and also put out for Switch. I think if it's going to come out, it would make sense
It'll
for it
be
to
in
come
the
out.
launch window.
Yeah, in that launch window and be a cross-gen title like Zelda Breath of the
And
Wild.
especially after Metroid Prime remastered or remake or whatever it was, like them kind of bringing it back into the zeitgeist and being like, hey, this is a cool franchise, right? Everybody, you guys are excited? Okay, boom, Metroid Prime 4. This is what this could be in the next generation.
It's also been a very long time since they put out that video. talking about how
2019.
Is that the one they announced the
Yep.
reboot? Like they're like, oh man, the way it's going currently isn't working out.
Yeah.
We're starting over. That was-
We're going on 5 years, January 25th.
I feel like that's enough time to make a Metroid.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I drafted it.
Back to Team Snowbike Mike. Really excited about this pick. It's going to be a strong one. Something that everybody's talked about. All you little cutie gamers, Andy,
You adorable.
really are looking forward to this one.
Little cutie.
And we've
gamers.
talked about it. I'm surprised Tim Geddes isn't here for this big monumental pick.
Yeah.
It's the Plucky Squire.
He missed out on history.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for this one. We're finally feeling good about this. 2024. This is going to be a special time for all of us. I think a lot of people are going to play this. They're going to be yapping about it. They're going to be talking about it. I'm going to score points.
That was on my list as well.
I had it
Thank
on
you.
my list, but I still have that doubt if they actually
Same.
hit it this year.
It's always so tough, right, when you have these games, especially these indie games that look great, but it's like they keep getting delayed.
Gunbrella.
It's what's going on. Yeah. Whatever happened with Gunbrella? That was just fine.
came
right?
out,
It was just like
fine.
an
Yeah.
okay game. Yeah.
It was solid, but it was like it also came out in the midst of just like everything else coming out
you,
during the
buddy.
fall. So, yeah.
And I think back to the other Devolver joint, the black and white samurai game that largely missed for me, which was like 2 years ago. Whatever.
Yeah,
like,
Trek to Yomi.
I just feel like there haven't been as many surefires that I assume would be amazing. You know.
Yep.
What I missed besides Metroid Prime?
Lucky Squire by Mike.
Ooh, okay.
From Mikey.
I was expecting a little more of a response from you, Tim, but okay.
No. It's a good call. Very, very, very good call.
He wanted you to be here for the announcement of it. He said it was a monumental moment.
Made a big pick.
Pretty big pick.
Greg Miller.
He's thinking.
Samurai hypothesis definitely opened up for Linkin Park back in the day.
Again, it's that question of how much longer can I get away? You know, on some of my
that's where I'm
picks
at.
here.
I think you cannot. If you're feeling that, you do not let it waste. Like,
Do you have to?
Don't let it sit there.
Yeah, because think about it this way, Greg. You only have 2 more picks.
Including this one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
How fast
Fuck.
it goes.
Don't fuck it up.
You have to let it linger.
Fuck, it's a tough one, guys. There's a lot of great games on here. How great will they be? That's the question. You know, can they land the plane? They've wowed us before. They've done the thing before. Then you go to some of these. Well, this could be an unexpected contender. You know what I mean? What are we gonna do there? I don't like it. I don't know.
You got it. Feel your heart.
I don't know. Because this is where you want to put out the cool, exciting stuff, but then you just want the points too. You
Yeah.
just want the points. I mean, I'm already champion. What do I have to prove? I gotta retain it, all right? Or
Yeah,
otherwise I'm
exactly.
past my
I'm
prime.
coming for you.
I just want to be back to back. Like,
Yeah, exactly, right? Double banners in the sky. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick Visions of Mana. And off mic fuck from Barrett.
Yeah.
A game that I think is not the most exciting, but I think is gonna get me points. You know what I mean?
Tell me about this one.
This is the go ahead, Barrett.
So yeah, this is from Square Enix. This is the first Mana game in like almost 2 decades.
Okay.
And I do think it's a really solid pick. It looks really good. It looks very like Dragon Quest, like modern Dragon Quest, like 11, like inspired in terms of visuals and all that. And I think you don't bring back this franchise unless you got something good up your sleeve. So I think this is a really solid pick from Greggy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Love you.
The art style looks really good. Like really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm up next. And I think last year when we did the draft, I put a lot of my eggs in the basket of Team Ninja being a banger developer. And they put out Wolong Fallen Dynasty, and I think that was met with like a lot of like, oh, it's cool, it's fine. But checking the Metacritic for Wolong, it's sitting on Metacritic at an 81 for PS5, which I think for this draft is a good place to be, right? At the very least, like, but Wolong Fallen Dynasty got me points. And when I think about this year and Rise of the Ronin and what that is poised to be, right? Like, you're talking about Team Ninja doing the Team Ninja thing. It's going to have great action. I think it's going to play like that, but then it also has an open world that is going for like the Assassin's Creeds of the world. That plus the fact it's being published first party by PlayStation. I got a lot of confidence / hope in this thing. And I think it has a good chance of being a banger. And so Rise of the Ronin is my next pick.
It was on my list. It's another one where I want to believe. It sounds
too.
awesome. I want to play that game.
Gettys.
So my question is, after this episode, we get 5 new picks, right?
6.
6.
Mhm.
We can do them at any point.
Yeah.
You can see, I mean, like I picked my last game to try to beat Janet in November, and it worked, by the way.
But I mean, like,
You can do it
literally
right after this episode.
right after this episode, I could.
Literally, that's what
right
what
now,
Paris-
if a lot of people do that, they'll fill in their entire thing. They'll go like, yeah, Paris did it last year for like $1.
Because I have one that I want to put on that I don't think any of you guys will think of, so I don't want to waste my spot. So it's a good idea.
He's talking about Peach.
Put it in your back pocket. You save that, you put it in your back pocket.
Okay, good.
That's what you do.
If that's the case, my next pick will be one that some of you might take from me, Blessing.
Oh no.
Penny's Big Break.
Ah.
Wow.
I was looking at
From the
this
team
one.
behind Sonic Mania.
I
Yeah,
was looking at
this is a good one.
It is like essentially all the talent there. There was a lot of different devs and people working on that game, like from separate studios. This is kind of all of those working together for the first time on their own game. From the ground up, everything we've seen looks and sounds fantastic. It has the makings of an amazing 3D platformer for the people that love them. So I think it's going to review very well.
All right, it's been added.
And I really hope it does.
And it's been crossed off my list.
All right, hold on. Let me take. Oh wait, no, it's still technically round 4. All right, for my second to last pick, let's go here. Let's pull up my list again because I lost track of it. Oh, but it's already right here. We're going to go with Unicorn Overlord.
Nice Vanillaware.
Yeah,
God
we're going
damn it.
Vanillaware. I know Blessing really loved 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim or whatever the hell it's called, right?
Yeah, it was close enough.
Okay. 12 Sentinels?
Literally, this was on my list above Rise of the Ronin, but as we got there, I was like, nobody's gonna pick Unicorn Overlord. There's no way.
Yeah. I remember how much you were into the last Vanillaware game, and I think they're a solid enough director that I like, or team that I think it might not be like a huge scoring game, but I think it'll give me at least.
If you remember when 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim came out, and I think it might have been 2020 or something like that, like critics loved it. Like everybody was like, yo, this game is incredible, the storytelling's next level. Like I think on the critical side, Vanillaware games hit for people. And you look at that trailer and it's like, yeah, this looks like something that the fucking nerds are gonna love. And so I think that's a really good pick.
Thank you.
Great pick.
Let's take a time code for round 5. Our last round of picking our normal roster here before the counter pick round. Oh, this is an interesting spot to be in. Because I didn't expect y'all to have Visions of Mana on your radars like that. And this is the last round, so I'm just gonna start talking.
No,
bit.
fill it out. You think it out.
Yeah, so like I'm thinking like Roger, you loved Little Nightmares, but now it's a different developer.
It's a different Deb. It's
and so,
co-op
like,
too.
Yeah, so
That's
I'm
on the
like,
list.
Yeah, Skate 4. Where the fuck is that game?
That's
You
not.
know?
No, I mean you keep on seeing videos of that, and it's like that's early.
I'll tell you, man. Ben scoots on a scooter, and we take him to the skate park and push him up the thing and bring him back down. I pick him up, I grind him on the rails and shit. And like every time I put it back down, it does the clack clack. I'm like, God, I want a fucking skate game so bad right now.
Come on.
Just do it. Somebody say it.
I think I'm not the most confident in it, but I know when it got announced, people were super fucking stoked for it. We're gonna go with Tales of the Shire.
Oh,
So this is the
the chibi friendly. You're like living in the
Cozy
Shire,
game,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, cozy.
Yes.
That's what I'm going.
Interesting.
yes,
Good pick. I can see it reviewing well
yeah.
or getting 4s.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's the Lord of the Ring rub review right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
All right, we're back to Tim.
Oh, that can't be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snake.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh damn.
got Snake.
Whoa,
Slither.
man, I
Doesn't know
was
where he is.
playing this wrong here.
You got Snake Dog.
Okay.
Fucking got mic'd over there.
Let me tell you about Hollow Knight.
Untitled Machine Games Indiana Jones.
Oh, man.
Oh man, I'm hurting.
2024.
Yeah,
That's
Really?
what the rumors are saying.
That's what you feel in your heart.
I really do.
Look inside you right now. Wow.
Feels right. Look at Machine Games. Look at like the cadence of their releases. Yeah, it adds up. They announced this game years ago.
Yeah.
It's happening. We're seeing it tomorrow. 2 days from now.
2 days from now.
2 days from now.
I mean, tomorrow for the podcast listeners that get this on Spotify.
Thanks for your support. Not.
So it's my turn.
You got it. It's like Borat. It's crazy.
And between Unicorn Overlord and Indiana Jones, I have now been put into a corner where the rest of my games are all toss
Never put Bless in a corner.
Because like there's this game, Mike,
Uh-oh.
called Avowed.
Man.
Wait, that like
Big gamble is what I call
is that
one.
is that does that have a date for 2024? Is it slated?
No,
Does not have
right?
an official date,
Yeah,
but
we
I
all
believe
we're
we're all
all just
predicting
thinking
this year.
it's
Is it part of the
2024.
Xbox developer direct?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh.
Put it on the fucking pizza bet calendar.
It's
right
2024
now.
on their Steam.
I will bet you it comes.
On their Steam is 2024.
Oh, it's happening.
It says 2024.
Yeah, it's happening this year. It's
Okay,
coming.
this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, it
But
says
do you believe
2024
in this
everywhere.
team?
I'm gonna look up
Do you believe in this game?
Outer Worlds
And
Metacritic.
Mike does not want you to take.
I'm gonna look up.
I'm staying away from that.
The Outer Worlds Open Critic has an 83, which is good, but is it a banger? Like, should I spend my last?
I
pick?
guarantee you have something better there.
Well, here's the thing. I have something that I think if it does come out this year, is going to be a banger. But the question is, does it come out this year? Because I'm looking at this game called Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. And I think the streets will fuck with that heavy.
Excuse me?
They will.
Dragon Quest III is going to HD 2D Remake. But it doesn't have a date yet.
That's a good call.
You know in your heart.
There's also this game called Under Night in Birth 2.
Just fucking stop
Just
naming
fucking-
games and pick stuff.
I'm going to go Avowed.
Fuck.
Love that.
Try and get in his head. I wanted Avowed really badly. I love Outer Worlds so much. I just I would have chosen it even if I knew it was going to be an 82. Like I just love Outer
Yeah.
Worlds so much, dude.
That's points, bro.
That's points.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Ecto 1.
Thank you. That's me. Hey, everybody, it's Greg, your friend. Your champion, too, I should say. I'm sorry.
God damn
Something Roger will never be, and he'll never
All
understand
right,
the
come
weight
on.
of the pressure.
I'm gonna
of-
take that from you. Oh, I guess I get a different trophy, but I'll take that one.
We'll see about that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my last pick.
Yes.
Yes, before the counter pick.
A complete steal. I'll take Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Fair.
It's one of those games, of course. Yakuza in general, huge. Like a Dragon, we all fell in love with on Xbox. Remember, I was playing it over there. Now they have the Animal Crossing in there.
Yep.
They got the Hawaii in there. They got all that shit Brittany likes. They got all the stuff people are fucking
Infinite
freaking
Wealth,
out
Greg.
about. You know what I
What's it
mean?
called?
There you go.
So much.
Yeah, the previous one was an 86.
And I think
That's
this will
very
go
safe.
up. I think this will go up.
Mm.
Again, more than ever. Because I know it personally. You can't say you don't like these games. You say you don't like these games, people get all pissy
Yeah.
at you. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So then here it is again. We'll all convince ourselves doing this again is a great idea. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Not picking the same.
Wow. That is such a statement.
Who's up next?
The co-op duo. One of the
After I've looked over Roger's list.
Yeah.
As one does.
God damn it.
After you said that, you wouldn't look over my list.
Well,
and
it's
you'd
just like
know.
Roger. We're not going to pick the same thing. All right. Look
Yeah.
at my list. Far superior compared to your list. So don't
Yeah,
worry
it's
about it.
just
Okay.
awful. Just an
Everybody,
awful
the
list.
chat will vote on that. Comments, let me know. Of
God.
course,
they will, but you won't read them.
I'm excited to look this one over, and it's a tough one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Tim, let's
tough.
play the game again. Left or right?
It's tough.
Go right
Go
this
left
time.
again.
Oh.
Left
Go
again.
with left again. I'm going to stick it with my guy, Mr. Paris Lilly. He's been saying it for years. Replaced. Please add that.
Oh,
Thank
Wild.
you.
That's
Thank
a
you.
good one.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited about that game.
That is currently slated for the second half of 2024.
No way.
Take the dice, roll it.
I think
Y'all got to gamble a
Here's
little
the
bit
thing.
more.
Paris sucks.
I think I might have counterpicked it last year, or at least I was thinking about it to counterpick because like Pierce said it last year. I was like, I don't think that game's coming out, and I'll still say it. I don't think that game's coming
I
out.
don't think
this
it's
year.
coming out.
Really?
Last
We still don't
year-
have the night before or whatever, and I know that's rife with controversy, but like
That's a different thing, though.
never came out though.
Last year you did in fact.
Wait,
counterpick
are you
replace.
Yeah.
talking about the day before?
No, he's the night. Yeah,
The night
I know what you're talking
before?
about.
I know exactly the game you're talking about. I don't
The
know
one
what
that
it's
looks like replaced, where it's
Yeah.
like
It was the one that came out, and then
Oh,
everybody's like,
gotcha.
"That game looks awesome." And the next day, they're like, "Wait, we found a tweet where he's like, women, why?" And there was like, "Why? Fuck him!" And then it was over, and I think he lost his publishing deal, and yada yada.
Wow. Hope that doesn't happen to replaced. Guys just said a lot of shit there. I hope that's not my game.
Yeah, it kind of opened up
the last
It was a
night.
Pandora's box. The
the last
night.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My turn.
Your turn.
Halo Freeze Games last drafted game.
I
And-
know.
Halo Free. And I'm thinking I'm going to take probably something that's on Andy's list. Hyper Light.
Oh
Breaker.
shit! That
Which
feels
I am-
amazing.
that's
Yo,
That's not okay.
right before
It is
turn.
it
It's
is
fucked up.
insane that wasn't taken a little earlier from you, Andy. It is wild. So yes, that's what I'm drafting. Hyper Light Breaker. I've never played these fucking games. But I just know that Andy likes them, so I'm taking them from you.
That's so fucked up.
Wow.
That's real fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be reviewing that game and be like, this game sucks. Shit, final one. A lot of options here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of options.
Great
A
out.
lot of
A
options.
lot of great
Hey,
options.
I'll give you one
Yeah, tell me.
because I know you won't.
Tell me.
Let's have a little fun. Why don't you pick Bulletstorm VR?
That's a great one.
Let's
That was on the
roll
list.
Let's roll the dice. Let's
Don't do
really
that, Andy. That's
let's
bad.
put it
I
on
will
for
say
the
that was on my
content. Put it
list.
on
That was
for
on the
people.
list.
I have one that I want to
Come
put
on
on the
now.
list, but I have a feeling that when it comes out, it'll be good, but it's gonna play like shit, and it got delayed a whole bunch, so I'm not gonna pick that one.
Okay.
But the one that I am gonna pick, was already mentioned earlier
Oh.
because the first version of it was 82 on Metacritic, and that is Under Night in Birth 2.
Oh, okay.
Celeste.
Yeah.
I got an 82 last year. The sequel's coming out this year.
Sequel's coming out, I think, in a matter of weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's for sure
gonna
coming
be
out.
another one of those that the hardcores love it, and hopefully nobody else plays it.
Okay.
Oh wait, I forgot.
God, was that-
I
it was-
forgot I'm picking your games for you, Andy. So
Yeah, please. It
sorry.
was
What was
big-
your first one?
That's it. I don't have a snake.
You're right. Yeah.
Final one.
Wow.
Under Night in Birth.
Okay.
God, I had another one that
All right, you go to the big board. You draft it later. You
Was
put it
Hyper
in.
Light Breaker?
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm like.
Was that on your
Why
list?
don't you talk
Or?
about it? Let's talk about it.
Here's the thing.
Say it.
Picking Hyperlight Breaker is like. It'd be like picking a Dallas Cowboys player on my fantasy football team. It's like. I'm worried that if they do bad and if the game isn't good, I'm going to have a double negative. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
you're
I'd
scared
rather
you're
an
too
opponent have
deep
Hyperlight
in
Breaker
it.
and be like, this game kicks ass. Let's fucking go. Even though Roger gets points for it, I'm happy that it's great, you know?
Okay. I
Play
respect
a lot
that.
of vanity sports.
Vanity.
Con Hannity.
Vanity.
I feel at this point it's time for Andy to do his counter pick.
Yeah.
But it might be helpful if we all went through and read our current roster
Yes.
of games. That will also for the listening people. Right now they're driving a UPS truck. They're like, I'm having a great time, but I can't write all this.
Why
down.
I start off with this counter.
I got to
Yeah, you
deliver
do.
this. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
Huh.
According to this.
Huh.
So Barrett, we'll start with you. The CEO juniors have drafted.
Metaphor Refantasio, Persona 3 Reload, The Rise of the Golden Idol, Unicorn Overlord, and the one that y'all are making me starting to doubt now, Tales of the Shire.
Oh, my Shire.
What's the fucking franchise, Andy? Lord of the Rings game.
But you only have 4 on your list, or maybe I need to refresh.
You have to refresh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Timothy.
I have Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, Penny's Big Breakaway, and Untitled Machine Games Indiana Jones.
That's a banger list.
That's
I know.
the games.
I'm feeling good, guys.
But remember, this is the story with Tim's last draft, where he drafted a bunch of banger games that none of them came out.
True.
Yeah, and I could see none of these coming out except for Penny's Big Breakaway.
And that's what I love
mean,
about it. Because
even
remember,
that-
again, like when you get into
Except
this.
for that. I'm worried about that.
That about Penny's Big Breakaway not coming out? I feel like that's way more likely than any of these other games.
I love when you get into this because now you get into this game of, shit, well, I don't know if this game will be good, so maybe I'll counterpick that. Or it's I don't think this game will come out. But it's like, imagine being like, I don't think the unannounced mainline 3D Mario platform got, and then it comes out, you're like,
You're
fuck,
like, all right, cool.
that's game.
Hang it up. Next up is my list. I got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Earthblade, Black Myth Wukong, Rise of the Ronin, and Avowed.
Gambles, but like safe.
I'm honestly not feeling that confident in my own list.
Wow.
A lot of days before we end this, so don't worry about it. Ecto One Games is next. That's me. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door remake, Alan Wake 2, Night Springs, Visions of Mana, and Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. I like my list a lot.
Yeah.
Alan Wake 2 is the only one where it's like,
Yeah.
I could see that, at worst, I could see that giving you only like a couple points.
that's,
I don't know if it's
at
going to lose
worst I
you
see it
points.
getting me an 80.
Yeah.
And you
That's
can take
the
it to the
thing.
bank on
for
that. That's
sure.
10 points.
There's
I like
points,
that.
yeah. And Paper Mario, Greg, like
That's going to be a banger.
that's gonna. I think that it has potential for 90 plus.
All right.
Yes, guy.
Wow.
You're gonna give me some, right?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
Up next for Team Snowbike Mike, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Hades 2, Dragon's Dogma 2, The Plucky Squire, and Replaced.
We'll see.
Okay. And Halo free games. It's getting worse every time.
Halo Free.
There it is. Every time I have to read it, I'm just gonna point to you, and you just have to say
And
it.
this is team captain for Halo Free.
Number 1, I did Senua Saga Hellblade 2, Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail, Mina the Hollower, Metroid Prime 4, and Hyper Light Breaker. Pretty happy with them. Hyper Light Breaker is kind of the is that come out this year? I don't know, but yeah, I'm happy with this list.
Nitro Rifle Games. Tekken 8. Star Wars Outlaws. Frostpunk 2. Brother: A Tale of Two Sons remake, and Under Night in Birth 2 Sisseles with brackets.
For some reason.
And they got a colon in there too.
It's a lot.
All right.
So I have to pick a counter pick.
You
Yeah.
counterpick now a game on there that you think won't come out or won't perform well.
And again, once you counterpick somebody else, it has to be somebody else's game. And when you counterpick it, that locks their game in for them, so they can't even drop
Is,
it.
is
Oh,
there is there a
shit.
positive to picking something that won't come out?
yeah,
that
then
means
you'd
that-
be guaranteed 0 points.
Oh, okay.
It's no longer the gamble of getting negative
Gotcha.
points.
So then they're guareed 0 points, and then you. Okay, I understand.
That's
and it
also-
lost a
yeah.
choice for them, right? So like they can't add other games.
That's cool. I like that.
Mm.
Hmm.
This is real tough. I'll tell you what. I will tell you what.
Boy, howdy.
Um,
Watch that Jodie Foster
Oh.
episode 1.
I
True
need to
Detective.
watch it.
You like it?
No, it's real good.
Oh,
Yeah?
good.
But Jen has. I went to click on it and it started and I was like sitting there. I was like, oh, it's like Woody Harrelson. I was like, oh shit, sorry. I started season 1, episode 1.
Ah,
HBO
just
or
watch
Max.
all of it.
And Jen's like, oh, I've never seen this. And I was like, what? I'm like, we are watching that. But then we jumped into this one, and this one's like, as a fan of the show, kind of like a not a departure, but like, Jen's like, have they always been supernatural? I'm like, no.
Oh, it's scary.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I've heard it's very scary. Okay, hold on. Everybody chill out. Everybody chill out. This is real. This game's hard. You guys play this every year?
Yeah.
Wow.
We live for this.
I am going to. Fuck, man, this is
Right.
so tough. Holy shit. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to say that. Tales of the Shire is just mid.
Shit.
Oh, the
Wow.
Shire.
I'm not even confident
that's
in
a
that.
fair.
I'm not even confident in it. I just,
Shy.
there's other
That's
ones
one-
on there that I'm like, I can't guarantee that they won't come out. I think these are all going to be pretty decent games.
And that is the thing where it's like a lot of we're into a part where it's like, well, these are all good games.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do?
I just think like I'm more confident in like Tales of the Shire more so than like any of us ever were for Gollum, because that was like once a game about Gollum, and two, like how do you make Gollum an interesting platformer adventure game kind of thing?
It's
where
not even that for me. It's the crafting game with all the dwarves in Lord of the Rings, the one that came out last year.
Oh yeah,
That was they're kind of like Minecraft crafting survival game, and that got like a 70-something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a fair pick. I think they'll know their audience though with the cozy type of shit.
All right. Next up is I Love Free Games.
No.
Halo.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
I tried to help you.
Ah, shit.
I can fill time while you want.
Yeah,
Don't
give me
worry
2
about it.
seconds.
Yeah,
Actually,
My
no,
other
no, no.
favorite one was the one time where I forget what game it was. I drafted, and then when I interviewed the dev, they were like, yeah, it's not coming out this year. I was like, okay. And I DM'd Fantasy Critic, and I was like, hey, so this is still listed, but it's not a 2024 game. Like, how do you know? And I'm like, oh, I interviewed the dev. Like, who are you? I'm like, I'm Greg Miller. Like, here's the fucking link. Like, change the goddamn thing. Let me drop it.
I am going to be picking. Mike actually picked out something else from his list that he said you should counter this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I'm telling
But
you.
I'm actually going to counter Dragon's Dogma 2.
That was one I was
Okay,
looking
okay.
at.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay.
That game looks fun.
That's
You're
a
gonna
bad
do it
idea.
yourself for sure.
I don't know how to do that.
I can do it.
Thanks.
That's a great call.
You said Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yes.
I have faith.
That's the
I'm
thing is,
excited just to make a character and
I
live
don't-
in a magic world.
I don't think Capcom can do wrong. Like I think the fact that it's a
Wes, let me introduce you to the 2010s. Okay.
no, I mean like modern Capcom. I don't think modern Capcom can do wrong in a way where I think at the very least this game is going to come out and be great. I don't know if it's going to come out and be game of the year. That's why I didn't have it on my draft list, right? But I think this game is going to probably at least get like an 80.
Yeah, the issue is my projected points. If you click on that, that's my highest projected point total out of all my picks.
Don't
so
listen to the projected.
That was like a big,
No.
Don't
But that's
big
based
choice
on
that you made.
I think that's like based on popularity, like how many people that are doing this are picking
Just
that.
letting you know, you
Yeah.
know,
don't listen to that.
letting you know.
So, I
He's
don't know.
letting me know. He's just letting me know.
So I told him to pick replace. It was only -4. You know, could have been better. I'm gonna go over to Roger's list here
Oh.
because I was gonna go with Tales of the Shire. So that's a great selection there from my friend Andy. I'm gonna go
Andy.
with. I'm gonna hope that this game doesn't come out.
Oh God.
Hyper Light Breaker.
Oh.
Wow.
That's mine.
solid.
That was on my list.
Thank you.
I think
No,
I was,
that's a good strategic.
my
move.
thing is that's coming out in early access this year, and there's a good chance that it just doesn't get enough reviews to make it onto OpenCritic.
Now you're trapped with.
And also, I'm really looking forward to that game. That game looks like my type of shit. But I played Solar Ash, and I didn't love Solar Ash, and so I'm like, if this is them in their Solar Ash bag, then I
See,
don't
me
know.
and Bless know. Me and Bless get it.
Smart.
We're on the same page.
I was just trying to fuck over Andy. That was my whole thing.
Wow, he would. Do
I don't even
that
care
to
about the
you.
game.
I can't wait to play. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good.
It's me. I'm looking at a million things.
Watching Greg watch a trailer.
I mean, I'll talk about it. It's like I remember Penny's Big Breakaway.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
pick
looking
that
at.
one, Greg. You know that one ain't scoring well.
It's that.
Let's be for real, Tim.
Penny's Big Breakaway, dude?
I know that. I know it's
That's
the
the one I
Mania
was about
team,
to
right?
pick,
Yeah, and that's my thing where I just wanted to look at it, everybody.
No, keep
Ukulele shit.
yeah, keep looking. Yeah, like go for it.
And everybody. Well,
They
it's-
don't know. They just don't
They
know.
have no idea.
I'm just looking. I wanted to see it. It's. I mean, my heart is saying
Prove us
replaced.
wrong.
I'm not clicking on it yet. Well, because then I get into the other thing of like, I do not for a second believe we're getting Metal Gear Solid Delta this year.
Yeah, that was gonna be mine.
But again, you're in the exact same situation of how much do I feel it? do I want to risk this glorious
Yeah.
trophy? You know what I mean?
I think it's a nice of the Old Republic situation though, where like PlayStation announces a remake and then it just goes nowhere.
No,
You know?
I feel like this
It'll
one,
come for
Listen,
sure.
Roger, I'm doing a thing right now. I let him pick Metal Gear Solid.
I think
You should definitely pick Metal Gear
I
Solid.
feel like Silent Hill 2 is even more of a gamble than that, than Delta. I feel like Delta, they're like pushing hard. They're like, this is happening.
My thing with Delta goes back to the conversation of there's not Kojima on it, and I think there's like a fan perception of Kojima is what makes Metal Gear, right? And so it's gonna come out and it's gonna be a thing of, oh man, it feels a bit like it's lacking something.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the special sauce.
Yeah.
It's Metal Gear Solid 3, but it feels void
little
of
off, yeah.
personality. You know, are they gonna be able to get those quirky Kojima moments in there?
Like, that's fucking insane. To counterpick it, I'll counterpick because I don't think it's coming out. It does come out and just underperforms.
Yeah, right.
It's a 77.
I
Metal Gear
think that's
Solid
valid,
fucking
though.
3. What?
That's valid.
I think that's very valid. I think it's akin
I just want you to
to
leave replaced to me.
I think it's akin to like watching a remake of like a cult movie that came out in the 80s. And like, it's like, well, you had to be there to get it though. Like now it's a different thing.
I think it's beyond that. Like I honestly think that the Metal Gear is more mainstream gamer than we think it is.
Yeah.
And my friends, all of my dumbass friends played through the Metal Gear franchise. They love 3. They don't know who Kojima is. They don't even know his name. They've never heard it. They have no relevance to that at all. I think that Metal Gear means a lot and it's going to do very well, whatever, but the reviewers are the ones reviewing it.
And like, how are they
care.
going to review it? Is it going to be like the conversation of like, yeah, this is a solid enough update to an already great game, and like we're also taking into consideration the base game, or is it going to be just purely off of like what this did as a remake?
This also isn't Bluepoint. Like, this is Virtuous, who hasn't done a project like this before, right? Like, they've done, I think, ports and
They've done
remasters. Maybe?
remasters. They did I think they did the Return to Arkham remaster for Asylum.
Should I play
City.
those Batman?
But like, we're in the golden,
Yes. God
we're in the
fucking
golden
damn.
age of video game remakes.
Good to know. Good to know.
And you're telling me that they're working on a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, like one of the most, I'll say, revered games of all time in my heart. In the same era where we're getting Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, right? Like getting remakes getting Shadow Colossus and what Bluepoint's been doing. I don't know if Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is going to hit on a level where we're like, oh, this is as good as the Bluepoints and other things.
But the game's that good though. Like that's the thing is like I feel like the story and characters and boss fights and all that, like they're that good in the way that Shadow Colossus is that good. Like
You're so right. You bringing up the boss fights right now is just like, oh fuck, like that's going to really kind of have like a massive impact.
it's gonna be RE4.
Yeah.
But here's my fear with it is that Shadow Colossus remake, for example, being done by Bluepoint, who didn't have Ueda on the team, right? At the very least, Shadow Colossus is so straightforward enough of a game that I think you can remake every aspect of it and it'd be like, oh, this is exactly the same game and it's incredible. Metal Gear Solid 3, I think, has so much narrative and character and so much going for it that like, one, I think if you're Virtuous / Konami and you're adding in Easter eggs to it, right? Like, are those going to hit? Do you have the freedom to even do that, right? Like, are people going to judge that harsher? But then also, yeah, like, are you going to be able to capture a lot of the same goofiness? I think if it's a 1-for-1 remake, that's cool. But also, like, it's also Metal Gear Solid 3, which I would want more out of at the same time. I think it has like a big challenge ahead of it.
But isn't the base 70?
Yeah.
It won't be lower than a 70.
Yeah, but you know, I'm trying to make an argument to Greg because again, I want replaced.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's rare that you get to a video game moment in real life. Where it's do I hit, X or circle? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, this will then, a year from now.
It's
we're
rare
like
that you make a choice in real life.
Yeah. Well, a choice that matters. Jen's like, you want to have a kid? I'm like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Whatever.
cares?
What could
Yeah.
happen?
I don't like them. Big deal.
This reminds me of the
Luckily,
time
I like
that,
them.
me and Roger were doing an AMA, and he was out. The question was like, "How have video games affected you in a positive way?" And he was like, there's times where I'll be in my room and like I'll hear something happen in another room, and I'll be like, "Oh, that was behind me."
Nice.
And I was like, so like just spatial awareness. He was like, yeah, because of Call of Duty, like when somebody runs behind you, you know they're behind you. And I was like, Roger.
God
What the
bless
fuck are you talking
God
about?
bless you.
You gotta get outside. You gotta get outside more.
It's really good though. You know what I mean? Like
Real life Atmos.
like you drop a pin over there, I know it's over there. You might think it's like over there by the refrigerator.
Nah, I pinpoint.
No, I pinpoint that shit right there. I know.
That's
I'm a wall
Real life
bingo.
Atmos is the live chatter comment of the day. Holy shit.
Real good. Fuck. God damn it. You should do it. You should do it.
After all that, I'm just feeling replaced. But it's like that's got to come out this year, right? And it does
Yeah,
look
of
cool.
course.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
I've been burnt by good-looking video games before, and good-looking indie games that come out and they play terribly.
Replace is going to be this year's Sifu.
All right.
Okay, now you're just being
Be careful.
No, real talk. My problem with
careful.
Replace,
Putting
I'm
shit
so
together.
stoked. I've never seen a game look that cool before. The other one that looked like that.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it'd be a good game.
exactly. That's where I'm at. It was a game that came
I
out
hope
like,
I'm wrong.
It's a side-scrolling fighter brawler. Like there's so many games like
and
that.
those
Like,
played great.
Castle Prince of Persia just fucking came out.
That did
Yeah.
play great.
Nah.
Really?
Nah. I mean, I think it'll be fine. That's a toss-up between it and Replaced.
All right.
Like Replaced coming out. But it's like I don't think Metal Gear will come out. But if it does come out, I think it'll score 80s, low 80. And that's just 10 points.
Yeah,
whatever.
me
If
too.
you
That's
rate
what
me
I'm
off.
thinking.
I don't know. We had
Rep-
much time. It's crazy.
Replace. Oh, there's no. We're making the fucking content, all right, motherfucker. Watch time. All right. I don't give a shit about any of this. I've never cared about winning. But Replace is like, could it be a darling if it came out? I'm with you.
Yeah,
If you look at
could
it.
be.
Yeah.
But I think that's like a 5% chance. And I hope I'm wrong.
Great call from MCAM. Replace is going to be this year's Somerville.
Yep.
Oh,
Came and
Somerville
went.
didn't have combat.
Wow.
I'm gonna go Replaced.
Wait till
Wow. Good for you.
That is my counter pick. Thank you, everybody.
Fuck, dude.
Go with Metal Gear.
Paris, just so you know, Greg Miller
Doesn't believe in you.
doubted you.
Oh, I'm really upset about that. And I don't like how the Lakers
Point
played
blank.
this year.
Period.
Yeah, point blank,
blank
period. Do yours. Do it. in.
I'm Bears Lily. I got a deep voice. Ugh.
Listen, I got
I love when we
75. I
kill
got
Roger,
75 points in Fantasy Critic last year.
Did he win?
No, Greg doubled that to beat me.
And Paris had Spider-Man 2 on his fantasy draft as well.
Who's up?
It's me.
What are you thinking, Bless? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking a lot.
And if anything, what I'd like to do for Paris Lily is remind you that like he went the wrong way with it. Where last year you can look at Paris's thing, and he drafted Spider-Man, Final Fantasy 16, Alan Wake 2, Phantom Liberty. In order, that got him 21, 18, 19, 19. He then did Replaced, and that's the 5 he would have had. He then immediately went, remember, and bought these games.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Mirage, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, NBA 2K24, Atomic Heart, Minecraft Legends. Those got him 0, 6. I'm sorry, it would have been 6, 0, -2, 4, 0, and then he never filled his last 2 spots because he's a quitter.
Yep.
Sit on your thing.
Yeah, like don't
rush out there and
fill
do all
out
this.
the-
I'm
yeah.
going to rush.
I got one.
Just so
Especially
you know,
because we
Tim.
barely know what's happening after March.
Tim's
That's
looking at
where
my
I am right
laptop.
now.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you don't? This is what I have.
No!
Because here's the thing, right?
Is that the one that you?
Here's the thing. Because Andy Cortez mentioned earlier, right? Like if you're doing Fantasy Critic, when he's doing fantasy or not fantasy football, that's what it is. You know, you don't want to draft a Cowboys player because then it's like, oh man, it's a double whammy when they come out and they fucking shit the bed.
Yeah.
There's a game here that has a very good chance of not coming out, and if it doesn't come out, then like, yeah, it's gonna be a great pick for me. But also, in the small chance that it does come out, is gonna fuck me.
Yeah.
But if it does come out at the same time, I'm gonna have a great year, right?
Yeah,
That means I get to play this game. That game is Metroid Prime 4.
Ooh.
Metroid Prime 4. There's a
wow.
like, is that game gonna come out this year? Let's be real.
You're dead, motherfucker. It's
That's
over
real.
for you. It's
But
over.
that's the
You just fucking signed your check. You're done.
He
It's
hasn't
over.
picked it yet. He hasn't picked it officially. yet.
I just picked it.
Yeah.
I selected it.
You just signed it, everybody. He's done.
If it comes out this year, that means
That's
I
crazy.
lose this Fantasy Critic, but I get a Metroid.
Pretty
Which is pretty great.
I like that.
Win-win
I
situation.
love that mentality.
I'm with that. I think it's
Winning
very unlikely it comes out this year. Like,
Very unlikely.
Nintendo follows no patterns. WNDs. So
Metroid Dread came
it
out
could-
12 years later, whatever the fuck.
It could happen. I just don't see it happening. That would be so wild.
Yeah.
But they made Zelda with Breath of the Wild being a launch title like, oh shit, here's the biggest moment Zelda ever had.
Dude, for me, it's like, so I was talking to a few gamer friends, right? But they're not like super hardcore like us, right? So then immediately we start talking about the Switch 2. Oh my God, it's probably coming out next year. And they just looked at me and like, they were like, what can they do better than the Switch 1? And I was like, that's a good call. Like, I feel like a lot of the normal Switch players don't understand what games could look like potentially, right? Like how far we can push this console. And I think they need something first party that is going to push that. And I think Metroid Prime 4 is the perfect one.
You see a trailer for that, it's like, hold for
Exactly.
the Nintendo game? What?
Exactly.
Yeah, see, I don't think it's the visuals. I think
feel it.
it's the fun. And that's why I'm surprised no one said Mario Kart. Because I think
I thought.
I think that Mario Kart has a higher chance at being a launch title than Metroid
sure.
Prime does. But I also don't think it's likely.
Yeah,
So-
I was thinking about Mario Kart a lot, Tim, and
Just in general.
yeah, just in
Not even
general.
about the draft.
Yeah, I'm just like, if I'm not playing it, I get like the
Yeah.
Tetris effect where I'm
Yeah.
just seeing the carts drifting, and
Seeing Rainbow Road.
yeah, seeing Rainbow Road all the
Somebody
time.
cuts him off in traffic, and
like,
he's like,
there's just
250cc right now.
I feel good about a Switch 2 coming this year. There's something that's making me doubt a Mario Kart launches with the Switch 2 for some reason. I don't know why. I don't have a good reason. It's just a gut feeling.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that the thing also is trying to strategize the Switch 2 in your head. Because, you mentioned, Roger mentions that like a Switch 2 coming out with Metroid, that's a banger game. Like, that's a banger showcase title. But does it sell units is the question. Metroid doesn't sell as well as Mario or Zelda or Pokemon or Animal Crossing. And
Neither did Zelda, though. That's the thing.
but Zelda sells better than Metroid.
I know, but like, not that much. Like, and sure, okay, that sounds stupid now, but not, the Breath of the Wild changed the game.
Yeah.
They could do that again.
I don't know with Metroid, though. I think the other thing, though, is that
Metroid's cool as fuck. It's a female protagonist in a dope-ass power suit. People want to like Metroid.
But do you think they're going to recreate Metroid with Metroid Prime 4, especially because they're calling it Metroid Prime 4, whereas like Zelda gets the advantage of not numbering their shit? So
do they?
I mean, do they call it Metroid Prime 4?
Metroid Dread is not Metroid 5.
that's
I
fair.
mean, I guess in the title screen kind of is a little
fair.
bit, but like,
But my thing also with the Switch 2 is that, let's say Switch 2 comes out and there is a 3D Mario there, right? Like, do you package it in with a launch 3D Mario and a launch Metroid Prime?
No.
And probably like maybe a Mario Kart or like some other
No
big
way.
title like
No way.
I think
We
you
get
hold
one.
Metroid Prime. I think if you have Mario, you launch with Mario, and then you hold Metroid Prime for the spring after.
facts.
And I'm also still of the mind that like I think Switch 2 could come out next spring. Like, I'm still not sold on this fall yet. Everything I said just goes against what I said earlier in the show.
It's hard, man. No, it's
Disregard it,
hard.
everybody.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting year. Interesting year. Jesus Christ.
Am I next?
Mhm.
Damn.
yeah, you're up, Timmy.
Oof.
Big moves that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Were you gonna do Metroid Prime? Was that your plan?
Yeah, it was. And replaced. And Dragon's Dogma. All the ones I wanted to do are done.
Haters.
Haters gonna hate.
Star Wars Outlaws is there.
Shit,
Yeah.
that's a great
Hollow Knight is there. Hollow Knight, they promised Xbox, said, hey, it's going to be out in the next 12 months. That was a lie.
Well, maybe
There's
they
no way
didn't tell
that-
Xbox that.
There's-
Maybe Xbox just fucking said that.
There's no way they're gonna, that this team's going to release that game. You should
We still don't know about Black Myth Wukong.
That's
lock
a
that in.
great one.
Yeah.
That's what Roger was trying to
No,
get me to go
truly.
for.
Like
Yeah,
that's
you think
that's a
so?
great one. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna come out this year. Is it gonna be
Coming out no
lowest-
matter what. Nothing stops
Yeah.
this one.
Have you
nothing
seen the
stops-
trailer for Black Myth Wukong?
Yeah.
It looks like an impossible video game.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't look like a real video
But I
game.
feel like
Yeah.
we've been talking about this game for a long time.
People have been talking. That's the thing is like it's
Yeah.
been.
I feel like
developed
it's
for a
coming
while.
out this year. I don't think it's below a 70 though. But maybe. What if?
I think it looks
What
too good. It's gonna
I'm
run like
between
garbage.
two. I'm between two games that I want to be very good. So I'm hoping they're not bad. But Star Wars Outlaws and Hades 2. Hades 2, my question is, does it come out and get enough reviews? I'm worried because the first game didn't. The second game will.
But that's
Yeah.
where I'm at with it.
But again, it's like it's one of those weird things, and we were talking about this when we were kind of looking it up and the history of it. Of like, if it's only the first, because Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, because I remember
Hello, how are
you opted into the Hades early access for the first game. I remember
That's me.
Um,
Download the Epic Games
that
Store.
was only
Didn't complain
the
about it.
first like chunk of the game. It wasn't the full game, right?
Right, yeah, that was their
Yeah.
early access thing, and it was like, it wasn't the Hades people know
And
and,
so
love
to,
now.
to think about it this way as well, right? Where it's like there's early access games that do get reviews, like what are some of the games that Mike and Andy and Nick play, Roger, that we were talking about?
Oh, like the
Arc.
survival
Arc
games.
and stuff like that, where there's so much
Myth
game,
Force.
and like even though there's like maybe
Yeah.
there's technically more, there's so much to experience. Whereas
Multiverses.
like Hades 2, if they only release the first chunk of it, are outlets going to feel confident enough to actually review that early?
I
good call.
I think you get a lot of just its preview coverage.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
as
I think so too.
as much as like I think this is much different known quantity than Hades 1 was. This is obviously like holy shit. The the sequel to one of the biggest indie titles of all time. I think it's just a lot of preview coverages, similar to when we see, even when like games as a service games come out and it's review in progress. We're not going to put a score on it quite yet, but this is in progress. And those are like for games that are officially out 1.0, you know?
I don't know if it's true, but Lanky.
I hate saying it. I'm going Star Wars Outlaws.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
God damn it.
Listen, this draft is going great. I got this in the bag.
That was going to be my pick. I think that's a solid pick, Timmy. I think, honestly, I easily see Star Wars Outlaws coming out and people enjoying the story enough. I do kind of worry about what the structure of that, quote unquote, whatever the open world that Massive is going to try to make for a single player game. And just like tech wise and gameplay wise, like that preview did not do anything for me. And I like action adventure games. I fucking love Star Wars, and I was surprised like the reaction some of y'all had when that game was revealed, because I don't have a lot of confidence in it.
I don't think it's an under an 80. That's the only thing like I was confident in it. Like I can't see that game. I see that game getting a lot of 8s. And
I could see it getting a lot of 6s as well.
Oh,
like
really?
I think that game,
See,
at the end of the day, hits at like a 75.
I view it as like a Ubisoft.
And this is based off of one trailer, you know. Like,
I mean, I think this game is a Ubisoft is like all hands on deck. This is the most important game that we're putting out right now, right? Like I think it's
interesting.
It's Star Wars. It's a huge IP. This is a version of Ubisoft that is tightening up like the types of games that they're making, right? Like they've had multiple reports about, hey, we're just gonna do Assassin's Creed and our big IP.
you know what you could make that argument for though?
What's that?
Avatar, because Avatar is
that's
a huge property. And what did Avatar top out at? 72.
And that's
People hate Avatar though, and Star Wars
bad.
games.
Stop making them.
People want to like.
Avatar too.
No, people. I feel like more of the criticisms, personally, that I heard about Avatar was the ludonarrative dissonance with a lot of the gameplay structure and like.
That's way too into the weeds of it.
But that's
like,
people reviewing the game though.
but who didn't play the game because they don't care about Avatar. I think that's the bigger thing is like when we think about like how well the game's going to do overall, and like even talking about the reviews of it, like Avatar reviewed well, I would say. I think
It's at a
Avatar
72 on Open Critic. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, but
the
like
fact that a games as a service game, the Division 2 is an 82 overall.
That's where I'm at.
And this is the Division team with a lot more knowledge of, like, think back to some of those single player missions, or not even single player missions. They were multiplayer, but like there was
Talk
some
shit about
that,
Joe
like,
Farah?
There was some shit that like really wowed me in the Division
there
2,
was, yeah.
and
Joe
like
Farah.
I'm confident in that.
I'm not saying Outlaws is a guarantee below 70,
for
but I
New
think
York,
it's a
and now
smart
you're
pick.
gonna come in and take it. Here's a fireball. Hey.
I think it's a smart pick because I could see it easily being a 75, and then at the most you lose 5 points.
I do think it's massive, though. I think that is the big difference. Is it's massive, and I do think Star Wars is bigger than Avatar in a way where, as Ubisoft,
people want to like Star Wars.
yeah, like you as Ubisoft, I think you put way more resources and like focus into making your Star Wars thing pop than an Avatar thing. For the Avatar, I think it is like a, hey, yeah, do what we did with Far Cry, make it bigger, make it polished, make it look gorgeous, and put it out. Star Wars, I think, is way more of an important thing.
You
on
think
Ubisoft's
EA would have thought
agenda.
that too, and then they released Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, but then they released Jedi Fallen Order.
And I didn't feel the marketing push with Avatar at all. Like I didn't feel like they were trying to show that game off everywhere.
Slip it in right here in December.
And that's why I was surprised that it was as good as it was, like, because it did feel just like a Skull and Bones. Rush that shit out, put it out there. We got to just, we have a contract to.
Yeah, Barrett, like I do think there's a reality. You're right. I just think with it being massive, it being Star Wars, Ubisoft being where they're at, I think that they're putting it all here. And like the reason I picked this is I think it has a better chance of not making it this year than it has a chance of not hitting an 80 at least. But I hope
I tend to agree with that. I think it comes out this year, and I think it's pretty great. Like
I
do think
So
it
I'm
comes out and
risking it,
surprises us a
Wow.
little bit.
That's a big risk. It's a big risk.
Yeah.
I mean, either one was a big risk, right? Hades 2 and
Mhm.
all right.
All right,
So Barrett,
All right.
Fair. This is what I'll say for you. Rise of the Ronin looks pretty
Star
trash.
Wars Outlaws was gonna be my pick. I didn't think Tim was gonna go that route. Let me look.
Indiana Jones. Does it come out this year?
Pick.
The streets are saying Indiana Jones is this year.
I see. Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
streets
but then
are
the
right.
streets change. You know what I mean? the
Streets
streets
you live on.
change. They go left. They go right.
Lives in the Hades
But also,
streets.
the
Sometimes
streets are
you got
saying
them
that
circles.
Exactly. Think about that.
the streets are saying that the developer for Indiana Jones hasn't come out with a game in 7 years. So I think
The
it's-
streets are saying that.
They're
shit.
due, man.
Yeah.
Streets are saying that shit.
If Mark McGuire hadn't hit a home run in 2 games, I was like, here comes one.
Here it goes.
This one's about to fucking knock a hole
Tune
into the
in.
field.
This is tough.
God, I love the Mark McGuire.
Barrett, let me tell you, I played the last Under Night in Birth. It was alright. It was okay.
Let me look. Under Night.
Under Night in Birth. It was okay.
Under Night. I'm gonna look at that.
I think it probably has like an 82 on Metacritic.
82.
Yeah.
Damn.
They go down.
Fuck.
But that was probably Under Night in Birth, like Uniclear. I don't know if that was Under Night in Birth 1, you know? It's different.
Uniclear, man.
Uniclear is different from 1.
You're just making shit up. None of this is real.
Greg counterpicked replaced, right?
I did.
I mean, Brothers of Tale of Two Sons on OpenCritic has 77.
But
And
that's
I think
so
that's gonna go
old.
up.
I mean,
And-
yeah, but it's an old game.
That was back when people were like, indie games suck.
Yeah.
Is
And I also
I
think
only
it's
like Madden.
and because it's a
I was
full-
on review.
We love
and I think the biggest criticisms I hear of that game is like how it kind of controlled. Like it was an interesting idea, but they didn't nail it. And I think if you're gonna do a remake, all you're gonna do is be able to improve that. So that's like, I could see it sitting around 80, and I don't want to lose a full on 10 points.
I will say Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like,
Shut up.
like Mike mentioned,
might get
has a lot of
delayed.
jobs.
Just activities.
Mike didn't
what
know
I mean?
what-
Do you think? You
Mike
think
couldn't
anyone
name
here on
3
this
games
panel
coming out this year
is gonna
before
be
the beginning of this podcast.
You think anyone on
okay?
this panel is going to be excited about picking up a dog from a burning building in a helicopter?
Hell
No,
yeah.
Hold on,
none of
shit,
these
fuck, wait a
jabronis are
second,
going to
wait
play
a
this
minute.
Is that
game.
what that game
No
is?
Pick
jabroni's
that.
gonna play this game. You just love getting clipped out by
that.
Xbox Twitter, huh? That's your favorite pastime.
They know.
They know.
They know.
Fuck. We got some solid picks this year, boys.
Yeah, it's not like previous ones where you get to the end and it's like, ooh, man, okay, I guess I'm
Yeah,
just
this is like an easy
I'm gonna pick Nickelodeon All Star Brawl.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
still might fucking delay Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. You never know, guys.
You never know.
coming out in like a week and a
Never
half.
Oh, man,
Go
you
get
never
pushed.
know.
Never
I don't
know.
know
It's too
if
close
Tekken
to
8
my
is gonna hit
birthday.
this
Last second. We saw what happened with the day before, y'all. That's
Helldivers 2 is coming out this year.
Huh?
Helldivers 2 coming out.
And I
Yeah.
can't wait, but I loved Helldivers, but remember how obtuse and hard it was? Like, they seem like they're keeping that. And it's like, is that going to go over well now? Or are people going to be about that with life?
Here's what I'll say, Barrett. Right,
Yeah.
right now Mike has 2 things locked in. You can
Lock
get
me in
you
for
can
a
get a
third.
with Hades 2.
You lock
His
it
ass
next team.
down.
You know?
Lock in
I
high.
don't
it's
want
not
to
gonna-
take that gamble. I think that's a gamble either
You
way.
just
of
made a very
drafting it
compelling
or
argument.
Counterpicking it.
People
Yeah.
ain't reviewing.
What
this
about the
shit.
plucky squire? Nobody's going to like that game. You should lock that game down.
making that face.
Lock me in.
He doesn't care.
I mean, it's a good point
He's
of
the
like
martyr here.
not that doubting it's going to be like good, because I think it's going to be at least solid, but I do doubt if like if it actually hits this year.
What game?
Plucky Squire.
Yeah.
I mean, there is also Shadow of the Erd Tree.
I did see the dev and people from, I think,
Might not
wasn't
come
it Devolver was tweeting, playing Plucky Squire on Steam Deck. I was like,
Oh.
and I tweeted to them, fuck you. They said they replied fair.
They blocked you.
I'm gonna go, and I hate doing this because I want y'all to just be happy, but I'm gonna go Penny's Big Breakaway.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably a good pick.
I
Honestly.
think it's like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they have a good, solid team who knows Sonic and makes a really good Sonic game. But
if you
like,
can make a good Sonic game, you can make a good whatever genre game.
but like,
you know how hard it is to make a good Sonic.
and
very true.
some say that it's the only good Sonic game.
Shadow.
myself.
Shadow's there.
Yeah, there's a Shadow the Hedgehog game.
I
that's
think it's
pretty good.
much
I
harder
thought
to
Roger
make
was
a.
singing.
I think it's
Shut
much
up.
harder to make a
Shut up.
solid 3D platformer game, and I think that's going to be a big task for that team. And I think at worst, Tim, just to give you some relief,
Yeah.
is that like it hits low 70s. So I think like you and Bless are still going to have a solid fun time.
I think you're absolutely right. But I have faith in the people that I know are working on this game and their tastes. I think it's going to be a hit.
Look, I'll just say this. I
But
had in
good call.
time. I had in time got really high scores, and
Yeah.
this is what that reminds me of.
Yeah,
Little 3D cube platformer.
Sure.
People are aching for it.
Van Aiken.
Mhm.
All right, that's
Beer
the draft.
All right, that's the draft. You want to do one final read of it all?
Yeah, are we gonna start? Are we gonna have people go by one?
Yeah, I think that makes
Let's
sense.
start with Barrett.
All right, as a final recap, my main picks are Metaphor ReFantasio, Persona 3 Reload, The Rise of the Golden Idol, Unicorn Overlord, and Tales of the Shire. And my counterpick is Tim's Penny's Big Breakaway.
Next up, Tim Geddes.
Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer, Metal Gear Solid, Delta, Snake Eater, Penny's Big Breakaway, Untitled Machine Games, Indiana Jones game, and my counterpick, Star Wars Outlaws.
Wow.
I don't feel
Wow.
good about it.
You
but
know,
you know,
Write the
Wow.
check. Write the check.
My list goes like this. I got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Earthblade, Black Myth Wukong,
You mean
Rise of the
Silent
Ronin,
Death, right?
Avowed,
dude.
and then my counterpick is Metroid Prime 4.
Me, Greg Miller, Ecto One Games, your reigning champion from 2023. Hi, how are you? 2015 Trending Game of the Year to season 13 Fantasy Critic champ. No big deal. Or no. Kind of
Kinda
few champ.
Funny.
Sorry, I got so many awards now. The Johnny Boz Award, never forget. My team is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door remake, Alan Wake 2 Night Springs, Visions of Mana, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and then I counterpicked Mike's Replaced.
Hello, everyone. This is Snowbike Mike for Team Snowbike Mike. My picks: Hollow Knight Silk Song, Hades 2, Dragon Dogma 2, The Plucky Squire, Replaced. My counterpick: Hyper Light Breaker from Roger Picorni.
Wow. Hello, it's Roger Picorni from.
Halo free game.
Thank you. I drafted Senua Saga Hellblade 2, Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, Mina the Howler, Metroid Prime 4, Hyper Light Breaker, and my counterpick was Mike's Dragon's Dogma 2.
Nitro Rifle Games here, getting locked and loaded. Tekken 8, Star Wars Outlaws, Frostpunk 2, Brother: A Tale of Two Sons remake, Under Night in Birth 2, Sis Celeste. There's brackets there. And my counterpick, Tales of the Shire from Barrett.
Remember, everybody, if you want to keep up with us as we continue to play throughout the year, kindafunny.com/KF League 2024 will drop you right on the page Barrett was showing you where you can go keep up with it. And it sounds like a leading question. I swear it's not. What's everybody's plan from here? Like, are you going to go tonight and draft other
I'm
things?
not telling you shit.
I already made 3 picks. Check it out. 3 bids already in, baby. I'm cooking.
I got a couple I want to add.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
I got 1 or 2.
How many can we drop that are just regardless of it? It's 3
3, and then
if they have no release date or their release date gets pushed.
3 if the release date gets pushed beyond 2024, and then you have 1 free drop.
Just 1. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that's
If one were to try to make a pick, what do you?
Yeah, what's the button to that?
well, on the page you're logged into, if you scroll to the very top and then you have your little bar of options, it says make a bid. It's right under play to actions.
And then you type in the game.
The thing is, though, we're going to take it seriously. Everyone here and Barrett, we're taking it seriously. We're doing it this year. We'll probably check in throughout the year somewhere
So just
of
to
where
stress,
we're at.
just to stress what you're saying, Mike.
Yeah.
We're gonna take it serious.
Hey, yeah. Let's put
We're
something
gonna
on the
keep
table
checking.
then.
We already have an
Losers
in-and-out
got to
bet.
do something. No, losers got to do something. Let's do something for
You're saying that
real.
we're all
then.
losers.
Let's make it so like
So
you
only one
really got a little
person?
fire lit under your ass.
Losers
Yeah.
got to buy the winner a pizza. Make it a simple pizza bag. Or
I
you
think
can
it, but they
bigger.
get 1, 2.
No, last place.
6 pizzas?
Last place.
Last place.
No. I'm saying last place gets the winner.
Yep.
Number 1 spot.
Yeah.
The pizza.
I love that. I
okay.
love that.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's make it interesting because
Let's
I'm
do
gonna take
that.
it for real. I've already picked 3.
Okay, well,
That means I'm real.
Mike, I like pepperoni.
That means I'm real.
I'm going for Hawaii.
Well, everyone, let us know in the comments
Hawaii
below
pizza.
if there's secret picks that I should choose. Let me know. I'm going to be the only one to read them. I'm going to add them. It's going to be great.
At the Andy Cortez to send Tim's picks.
And then hashtag Tim.
Yeah, exactly. Until next time, I love you all. Goodbye.